One of the desserts every chef should know how to make must be the soufflé. Different forms, different shapes, different flavors. There is a million varieties of soufflé. My personal favorite, definitely on the desserts. And today I'm gonna show you how to make pistachio soufflé, and we're gonna make our own mango sorbet. It's gonna be really delicious. It's quite simple, but it's all about the details to make sure that that soufflé is gonna rise above, gonna be beautifully cooked in the middle, just perfect. Nice crunchy outside on the top. But we're gonna start with the mango sorbet. So we're gonna have a little pot and we're gonna boil 150 grams of sugar with 150 milliliters of water to make our simple syrup. This is gonna be part of the sorbet. We're gonna have a nice fresh fruit, fresh mango blended, but then together with our simple syrup, and we're gonna churn that up in the ice cream maker. Really simple to make. You can vary in the fruits. You can do it with raspberries, strawberries. Bases always stay the same. I like 25% sugar. So in this specific case, we have our 450 grams of mango puree. We're gonna have 150 grams of sugar, 150 milliliters of water. And we're gonna have a little bit of Cointreau. That alcohol is gonna reduce the freezing temperature, so it's gonna stay nice and soft, and it's also gonna give us a nice little kick. We're gonna have to bring this to a boil. We're gonna have to reduce the heat rapidly because we wanna mix it up together with the mangoes, and we wanna be making that in the ice cream maker as fast as possible. When you're doing this dessert, it's actually quite a good idea to make your sorbet in advance, because this is something that takes a little bit of time. It sometimes takes about 30 to 40 minutes to really churn your ice cream, but you also wanna cook the simple syrup. You wanna reduce that heat back down all the way to room temperature before you're mixing it in with your mangoes and putting it in the ice cream maker. Gonna mix it a little bit, make sure that that sugar doesn't stick to the bottom and it doesn't start to caramelize. Now it doesn't have to boil completely, but we want to make sure that all the sugar is dissolved. Once it becomes really nice and clear, I'm gonna hang the pot over a little bit of cold water just to get the temperature back down. And that's about enough. We'll have another pot with cold water where this one sits in, so it will cool down nice and quickly. In the meantime, we'll have our mango, 450 grams, and we're gonna be spinning that in the blender till it's completely nice and smooth, till a smooth puree. Want to be adding a little bit of lime juice, give a nice freshness to this sorbet. Cut it in half, you can just squeeze it in. You want to use a whole lime. It's going to really bring a real nice freshness and acidity to the sorbet, that together with the sugar and a little bit of alcohol is going to give you a really nice punchy ice cream that is going to pair super well with this yummy pistachio soufflé. I want to throw in a little dash of Cointreau. Now I want to blend that really well for at least like a minute or two to make sure that that whole mango is completely smooth and completely perfect. We'll leave it like this for now. We're cooling down our simple syrup, and once that has reached a nice temperature, we're going to be adding it in together, give it one more spin, and then it's ready to go in the ice cream maker. Okay, now the simple syrup is cooled down, we can add it to the mango, give it a quick spin, and that is ready to go. Now, some of you will have an ice cream maker at home, some might not, some have one like me, or there's other ones that you can put the freezing element in the freezer. If you have one like that, make sure that the day in advance or the day before you put that freezing element in your freezer, because that needs to be absolutely frozen to bits. It's also really good to make sure that your mango sorbet mixture is as cold as can be, specifically if you have an ice cream maker that has the frozen element in the freezer. This one specifically works on a compressor, so it's actually quite fine to put it in at room temperature. So in our case, we're just gonna pour it in, we're gonna start churning it, and we'll get back in 40 minutes and see how we are with the ice cream. In the meantime, we're gonna be working on our soufflé mix, getting that ready, so by the time our ice cream is ready, we are also ready to push out our soufflé. So for the rest of our soufflé, we have some pistachio paste. We're using 100% pure pistachio paste. You don't want to have the one that is mixed with sugar or a different type. It's a great ingredient, and it's absolutely essential for the soufflé that you get the right pistachio paste. We have a little bit of fresh pistachio, which we're gonna chop up. It's gonna give a really nice crunch to our soufflé. We'll have yogurt that will add to the base, and then we're going to be whisking up our egg whites, and we're going to be folding it up together. We're going to put some real nice attention in buttering those molds, because they are really going to make sure that that soufflé is going to rise beautifully and they're going to come out perfect. So we get our knife skills and we're going to be chopping the pistachios. If you want to blend them in a little food processor, also really fine. Goes a bit quicker maybe. I really quite like to just do it by hand. Classic knife skills. keeping your fingers intact. It's essential, we don't really want to have large chunks in there. We want to make sure that we chop it up nice and thinly. And then here we have our Greek yogurt, 10% fat, strained, because we want to have a nice and thick base. We can add our chopped pistachios to that, and same goes for the pistachio paste. Mix this all together really well. Really nice thick base. That's going to provide a solid foundation for our egg whites to fold in. And then when we put it in the soufflé, it's going to rise beautifully. It's going to come up really high. It's going to be absolutely delicious. Eggs, we want 2 whites to be mixed. We're going to be mixing one of the egg yolks into our pistachio mixture. And then we'll have our egg whites ready, our sugar ready. What's only left is to butter the molds. Now there is nothing more important to a soufflé than a correctly buttered mold. So we want to start with the base, and then we're going to want to make upward strokes coming up, putting a really beautiful layer of butter on the ramekins. Now we want to really make sure that we hit every single spot, because when the soufflé rises, it needs to have that upwards stroke. Nothing can stop it, or it might just tilt over or come out a little bit wonky. No big deal if it does. Little dusting of icing sugar all around. Shake off any excess, and that is that. We have our molds ready. I'm gonna just put them in the fridge for a little bit, because I want to make sure that butter really sets on the edges. When we're gonna be pouring in our soufflé mixture, I want the butter to really hold. So when it goes in the oven, it will melt up and it really give a push to that soufflé to come all the way to the top. And for that, it needs to be nice and cool. So the ice cream has been going for the past 45 minutes and it's really coming together. So for us now, it's the time to finish our soufflés. We have our beautifully buttered molds that are dusted with a little bit of icing sugar. We have our cold pistachio mix with the chopped pistachios in there and a little bit of pistachio paste. We'll have egg whites, we have sugar, and it is time to blend up the egg whites, make that really nice and firm meringue. And this is key to the success of this dish, that the meringue is done correctly. We want to whip it first, really fiercely, till it becomes nice and white and firm. And then we're going to be adding the sugar bit by bit, creating a really nice, firm, stiff meringue. We're going to be folding that into our pistachio paste. We're going to be filling up our ramekins, and then we're going to give it a little twist, bake them in the oven 14 to 16 minutes until they're beautifully cooked. And we're going to take a big scoop of that mango sorbet right in the middle. It's going to be absolutely delicious. We want full speed on our kitchen machine. The whites are good. I'm gonna add the sugar, tiny bits at a time. We let it spin for a little bit, making sure that sugar dissolves well. We get a really nice stiff peak. And that is about perfect. The whisk almost hangs in it. It's so stiff. It's exactly what we need. We're gonna start putting little bits of the egg white in our pistachio paste. A bit of meringue. Incorporate. At the early stage, you want to be mixing it quite well, making sure that it loosens up. At the end, you want to be gentle, because you want to keep as many of the bubbles as possible. You want to keep it as airy as possible. The rest, we're going to pour back into the big mixing bowl, and we're going to blend that together gently. That's it. That's absolutely perfect. In the meantime, I have boiled a little bit of water in the back, because to put our soufflés, we're gonna have to bake them au bain-marie, as they call it. So I have a little tray with a little bit of tissue paper. We're gonna add a layer of boiling water to that. This is gonna help the soufflé rise evenly and make sure that it doesn't overcook, that it doesn't cook too high. Gonna be filling up our ramekins. Want to give it a little tap. Want to make sure that the mixture is very evenly distributed in your ramekins. A little bit too high, because we'll scoop it off afterwards. Now it's very important that they're cut off nice and precise. So keep them here, using the back of the spoon or palette knife, whatever you fancy at home. You can use the back of a knife as well and really strike them off evenly. We tidy up the edges. That's gonna burn in the oven. We don't want that. We want to make sure they're nice and clean all around, and then with your finger we're gonna make a little ridge. That ridge is gonna become crunchy. It's gonna help the soufflé rise beautifully. There they go. In our bain-marie tray, into the oven, 14 to 16 minutes. And there it is, the final moment, that moment where the soufflé is gonna come out of the oven, and we're gonna know that it is absolutely perfect. We're gonna take them out of the oven, see how this came out. And as one might expect, absolutely perfect. Fluffy, crunchy on the top, couldn't ask for more. We're gonna take a nice big scoop of our mango sorbet, and there's only one way to really do that. And there you go, that is straight in. That's it. Beautiful scoop of ice cream right in the middle of it. You have to eat it right away. You can also serve your ice cream on the side and do it on the table, but the way it is most delicious, in which that ice cream melts into your soufflé, it blends together with the pistachio, it blends together with that beautiful liquor that we put in the sorbet, and together this is a flavor bomb, a combination, a feast, everything you want in the end of your dinner. This is what you should be serving to your absolute best friends, to the people you love the most, to the people you want to impress the most. I hope you enjoy it. Dig in. Absolutely fantastic.